Right, I've given you this one already on the modern record player. It's a 12-inch Columbia record. It's a scrapbook for 1910. It's lots of famous voices. You've got, most interestingly to me, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I recently missed out on buying a copy of his the HMV record that he put out. It started off at 99p and it went up to about nearly 200 something pounds, so well and truly missed out on that one. But so it's nice to get Conan Doyle's voice on a 78, so I can play it on the gramophone. There's all sorts of other voices as well. There's the captain of the ship that had Dr. Crippen on. He's telling the story of how for the first time radio was used to report that Crippen was on the ship, and he was arrested when they got to port. And numerous other voices of pilots and music hall and all sorts of other things that were happening around that time. There was a radio programme apparently of the same title. Let's have a listen.
Have you a scrapbook at home? I have one here with memories of 1910. Shall we look through it together? The Dollar Princess Waltz, fragrant of those rich leisure days when King Edward reigned. How familiar those old tunes still are. What's on the next page? Oh, do you remember that stage thriller, The Speckled Band? The scene in the darkened bedroom with a snake coiling through the ventilator, only to be driven back by the detective Sherlock Holmes, the greatest character in fiction. Let the voice of Conan Doyle rise out of the past and tell you about him.
But many schools of detection, working in France, in Egypt, in China and elsewhere, have admittedly founded their system upon that of Holmes. To many, he seems to be a real person. And I've had numerous letters from time to time addressed to him from all parts of the world, and the most quaint requests, including what was virtually an offer of marriage.
Musical comedy at its zenith. Joe Coyne in The Quaker Girl. Here he is.
Hello, folks. The Quaker Girl. The best English musical comedy ever written. I didn't write it, mind you. It was written by the late Lionel Monkton. I played the part of Tony from America 500 times. And to this tune I was supposed to teach lovely Gertie Miller to dance.
I'm really learning how it's done. It seems to me delightful fun and easy.
And then Gertie and I got gay and we whipped up the dance into a waltz, whirling all over the stage like a house afire.
What memories. And then in 1910 came the first aeroplane flight from London to Manchester. The race between Paulhan and Grahame-White. The hectic rush from Wormwood Scrubs Aerodrome to catch up Paulhan, who had left Hendon unexpectedly. You won't easily forget that, Mr. Grahame-White, will you?
I certainly shall not. In pursuit, I landed here in Northampton at dusk. Nobody had ever flown before at night, but I decided to go on.
The first night flight ever made.
Yes, it was my only hope of success. We lit up the field with motor and cycle lamps. At 2:30 in the morning, I decided to start.
He be a warming his engine up, Ted. He's a-going to take off down the meadow where they lamps be a-shining.
Suicide, I calls it. He'll break his perishing neck, you see.
Off there, boys. Let it go.
He'll never clear the railway embankment. Yes, he will. He's over. Here he comes, back over the treetops.
Looks like a great black bird in the sky, don't he, Fred?
Aye.
Through the night, I flew on, following motor headlamps below. But at dawn, I was forced down by heavy wind at Lichfield. A crowd gathered round, and a message was handed to me. Ladies and gentlemen, I have just received a message that Paulon has landed at Manchester and has won the £10,000 prize. 3 cheers for the winner. Hip, 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 hip. Hip, 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 hip.
Let's turn the page and see what was happening on the music hall. What was the song of the moment? Don't you remember the Tivoli in 1910?
Side 2 of this amazing 12-inch Columbia record. It's a scrapbook of 1910. Most interestingly, on this side it's got the voice of H.G. Kendall, the captain of the ship that reported Dr. Crippen when he was trying to make his escape. It was the first time that radio had been used to contact the police. Numerous other interesting sounds and voices of the time as well.
Perhaps nothing brings back those days more readily than the simple, sentimental tunes sung by Muriel George in Felicier's Follies. You are listening to her now. Quiet, sentimental tunes. But then came, as a startling symbol of the march of science, the incident of the Montrose, a liner crossing the Atlantic under her captain, Commander H.G. Kendall, who now speaks to you.
After we left Antwerp, my suspicions were aroused over a man and a boy travelling under the name of Robinson. Whilst they were on deck, I searched the cabin and found that the boy's hat was patched to make it fit, and he was using a piece of a woman's bodice for a face flower. I made friends with Mr. Robinson. Once the wind blew up his coat tails, and in his hip pocket I saw a revolver. After that I carried mine, and we had many pleasant tea parties together. But I'd given my wireless operator a message for Liverpool.
Have strong suspicions, Crippen and friend among passengers, friend dressed as boy. Voice, manner and build undoubtedly a girl.
I remember Mr. Robinson listening to the crackle of our wireless and remarking what a wonderful invention it was. The Laurentic left Liverpool the day after my message was sent. I knew she would overtake us.
To Captain Montrose, will board you at Father Point, Quebec. Strictly confidential. Inspector due, Scotland Yard, on board Laurentic.
Montrose to Laurentic. Advise you to come off with pilots disguised as pilots.
When the pilots came aboard, I invited Robinson to my cabin. The detectives grasped him by the hand and said, "Good morning, Dr. Crippen. I am Inspector Due of Scotland Yard. I have a warrant for your arrest."
Thus, for the first time, wireless came to the assistance of justice. Now let's turn to the next page of Scrapbook. On April the 27th, King Edward arrived from Biarritz, and that night heard Tetrazzini sing at Covent Garden. A week later, Queen Alexandra returned from Corfu. The king was unable to meet her, as he had a severe cold. And then came the blow that staggered the nation. Late on the following evening, King Edward was dead. The next day, England was hushed. And at Buckingham Palace was seen the strange, sad spectacle of a Salvation Army band under a flag draped with mourning, playing King Edward's favourite hymn. While within earshot, at St. James's Palace, the new king was holding his first state council, the prelude to the historic ceremony of accession, witnessed by a vast crowd on the following morning.
Whereas it has pleased Almighty God to call to his mercy our late sovereign lord, King Edward VII, by whose decree the imperial crown of the United Kingdom is soulfully and rightfully come to the high and mighty prince, George Frederick Ernest Albert, we therefore,
the Lord spiritual and temporal of this realm, publish and proclaim.
Uncle, you've seen this before, haven't you?
Yes, I was here 9 years ago when Queen Victoria died. Now King Edward's gone, and to old fellows like me, it seems like the breaking of the last link with Victorianism.
Written at the court of St. James, this 7th day of May, in the year of our Lord 1910. God save the King! God save the King! God save the King!
With the new reign came the dawn of a new age. Life with its aeroplanes and wireless was quickening to a more mechanical, a more sophisticated rhythm. So bid your last goodbye to waltzes, hansom cabs, and the spacious days of Edward the Peacemaker.